Alright, so what's going on, guys? Gaming journalists definitely have a terrible reputation when it comes to how gamers perceive them. But the article we're gonna read today is a perfect example of why we do not like games journalists as gamers. Well, there's a ton of reasons actually, now that I think about it, but the one we're gonna be focusing on today is games journalists forcing social issues into everything, even where it doesn't belong. So there's this new game coming out called Black Myth Wukong. I'm actually kinda optimistic about it. I'm not too optimistic because it's made in Unreal Engine 5, meaning the performance is probably going to be dog shit. But you know, I have my fingers crossed. The game has you play as a monkey, and there's tons of different creatures, and according to screenrant, a gaming journalist organization, it just isn't diverse enough.
That just makes no fucking sense. I mean, it's just bullshit. Fuck.
So I'm not gonna read through their entire article because we'd be here all day if I were to dissect everything, but we're just gonna go over the section I have an issue with. Largely lacks inclusion and representation. Black Myth Wukong characters lack diversity. No, they don't. You have tons of different creatures in this game, and you play as a monkey. The game is very diverse, it's just not diverse in the way that you want it to be. According to screenrant over here, diversity just doesn't count when groups they want to be represented aren't in the game. And why do you feel entitled to be represented in this game anyway? It's not your fucking game. While my analysis and review of Black Myth Wukong remain focused on gameplay, it's important to mention the controversies surrounding the game studio and reports of misogyny and sexism from the developers. Playing as a female gamer allowed me to notice issues surrounding inclusion and representation. Now, if you don't mind me asking, do you care to provide a source that there's misogyny or sexism from the developers? Because I'm just gonna go ahead and assume that I know your source, and that is
That I made it the fuck up.
this company went out of their way to give you a free copy of this game so you could review it, and you basically falsely accused them of being sexist. If I were this company, you would never get another review code from me again. As far as chapters 1 and 2, while characters are clearly fictitious, and dude, I skipped English class a lot, I'm not even gonna fucking lie, and fantastical creatures, there were no female or feminine NPCs, enemies, or bosses present.
Oh my god, who the hell cares?
You are not entitled to be represented in this game. There's also no people in wheelchairs. Should they also get represented? Like, dude, holy shit. You want to be represented in a game? Go make your own fucking game. Another thing I would like to bring up is the developers of this game that gave out review codes specifically told people to talk about the game and not fucking social issues. Yet, here you go, like, blabbing on about this shit. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with talking about social issues, but there's a time and place for everything, and when the developers specifically ask you not to talk about social issues in your review of their game, you should fucking respect that. The only exception, if you can call it female, is a boss named Mother of Stones in Chapter 2, which is nothing more than a still glowing rock with no abilities being guarded by other enemies. So there are female characters in the game. Dude, holy shit, the grasping for straws here is insane. You can tell that this person is trying to create issues where there aren't any for social media attention and brownie points on Twitter. The lack of diversity and inclusivity resonates with the misogynistic comments reported to have been made by developers. No examples of what they said, by the way, which expressed disdain for women playing their games. Oh yeah, I'm sure this company would not want more people to play their games and make them more money. And you said earlier in your review that as a female gamer you can notice this stuff, so that would mean that you are a woman, right? Yet they gave you a review copy, yet you're here trying to claim they don't want women playing their games. This ain't fucking adding up, bro. Although Black Myth Wukong does have truly enjoyable moments, the underlying feeling that women aren't welcome in this world felt present throughout my gameplay experience. It's worth noting the game is based on the novel Journey to the West, which does consist of a few important female characters. Just because this game is based on the novel does not mean they are going to be exactly the same. This is a under the mayo ass argument, bro. I remember him saying this shit about Trepang too. Oh my god, dude, it needs to have 3 weapons because it's based on fear. To not include any women or to only include a few in an adaptation meant for a modern audience is quite disconcerting. Okay, can I ask a serious question? What the fuck does a modern audience mean? How is the modern audience different than the old audience that played video games? I don't get it. And does this modern audience even buy games? Because I see so many games say they're making it for a modern audience and the game just doesn't sell. While this doesn't take away from the exhilaration and fun of boss fights themselves, women fans of Souls-like games, this isn't a Souls-like by the way, you might wanna, edit that, may have a different perspective. Especially given that, according to reports, the developer also suggested that women aren't capable of enjoying or being skilled at these types of games. I doubt they said that, and you wanna show these reports? Or are you just gonna say, trust me, bro? I'm sorry, but can you really get mad at me for not trusting this journalist given everything journalists like to do nowadays when it comes to the video game industry? But that's pretty much gonna wrap up this video. Yeah, this is a prime example of why we do not trust you guys.